By now, you should have already received access to and investigated yourself your grade and status document. The link would have been sent to you in an email towards the beginning of the school year. This personal spreadsheet of yours is a go-to location for all things online chemistry. You have here a total overview of everything you've done, everything from all of the trainings and assignments you've completed, to your unit exams, to your status for any given objective throughout the entire trimester and throughout the entire year. This document is actually your reference for the entirety of the course, all 3 trimesters. So what are we looking at here? A lot of it is pretty intuitive. You have here your overall grade. You have a breakdown according to the percentages, as you can find on our syllabus. You have all of the objectives of the course that we visit throughout the various units of a given trimester. In this case, we have 6 units and 2, 4, 6, 8 different objectives that we explore throughout those 6 units. This main front page is the trimester overview. Basically, each individual objective is broken down into levels, and each of those levels falls in a particular unit, and you can have a certain number of points possible on any given unit exam out of a total of those values. Now, this is a numbers game, and you'll probably get used to looking at this a lot, but if you wanted a simplified chart, you can click a few tabs over and look at the objectives broken down here visually. All of the different objectives are on the bottom in yellow or orange. That's kind of where we're going to end up for our point total throughout all of the different unit exams. The red is where we're at currently, and the blue is where you're at. And you'll always be chasing the red, and the red will eventually be the same as our orange or yellow here. So your goal, of course, is to maximize your potential versus all of the total and final values for each individual objective. Now back here on the front page, you can see this is not a real student. Right now, populating your spreadsheet is probably not a whole lot of information. Well, that's going to change very quickly as we start moving through the various units. You can kind of see a little bit of a preview and see what we're going to get into in the future. One thing that you can look at for sure, other than just the overall numbers, is what you have on your summative formative report. That would be the 5th tab down in the bottom. This is a quick look at where you're at for the individual unit activities as well as your training. So you can see where you're at versus what is expected, and that's continually updated. It gives you a little more of a detailed breakdown. At any given point, if you're very curious about all the numbers that kind of represent you in the course, you can go to the data import page. Row 7 represents everything that you put in the course, essentially. So you could do a little bit of a search and see exactly what the most detailed breakdown is for all of your scores and performance. Anyways, that row, all those numbers, they feed into the spreadsheet and populate it out, and that's pretty much what we're seeing. Anyways, how can you use this to the best of your ability? Well, the unit exams will give you scores for each objective, and that gets reflected down here, each individual level. But it doesn't really end there. Let's say you have a unit exam that doesn't go very well. Well, there's a reason that you've been doing maybe the training activities as well as those daily ops that also exist under each topic or objective back on our Moodle page. And you can see the benefit here in the Opportunities tab. This is basically the retake page. Opportunity quizzes is what we call retakes in online chem. We have the objectives, and each objective has multiple retakes that are available. So throughout the trimester, there will be specific days on the calendar during the school day itself where you can use your online hour to take any number of retakes for individual objectives. In fact, you can get more specific and take individual level retakes within each objective. The best way to get a sense of that will be coming up when I release yet another quick video over on Flipgrid, giving you some insight into how you can utilize that system. You can repair quite a bit of missed credit if you utilize this retake system. The key will be doing the trainings and the daily ops, building up a balance of currency for each individual objective. We can also see that here on the front page. Every time you complete a daily op and when you finish trainings, all of those, your attempts, your work gets accumulated, and you can actually use that as a type of currency to purchase retakes. However, please note, to be able to be eligible for retakes, you must complete the trainings at a bare minimum. You can see here in red, those are negative numbers. If you do not complete the trainings, there will be a debit to your account. Essentially, you will lack the currency for any given objective to do any retakes. So, bottom line is, make sure you are taking care of those training exercises. I think you'll find that the unit exams will go a lot easier regardless, so it's to your maximum benefit. If you perform better on a retake than you did the first time around on a unit exam, you're going to see that get reflected. Over here, in any given level, in any given objective, the op score versus the original score. If your op score is better, let's say you got a 7 out of 8 the first time around, let's say you get an 8 out of 8, you can see the op score is going to move forward and your total will reflect that. Please note that your original unit exam will still have a little bit of a bearing or a weighting on your score. Technically, even retakes, multiple retake attempts, can only give you a weighting of 75% of the improved score. That original attempt, that'll still be about 25%. If you have questions about that breakdown, definitely talk to me in person. Send me an email. Well, if you have questions in general about this spreadsheet, it's a more complex system than many courses, but it also will afford to you more power and more choices over exactly what kind of experience you're going to have and what kind of grade you'll end up getting. I think you'll find it to be a good system. If you do have questions, please don't hesitate to stop by C121 or send me an email, and I can further elaborate.